Hey guys, Orlando here, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Prodigy. Now, if you know anything about me, I'm not the biggest fan of horror movies. I've seen that new It movie, and I really like Georgie in that movie, and he's in this one, so that's why I went to go see this one. On Georgie, he plays a young boy named Miles, and Miles is a super smart boy. Like, he's way ahead of everybody in his class. Like, he's just super smart for whatever reason. And the parents are like, okay, that's cool. Nothing wrong with my child being smart. But then they start noticing weird shit about him. Like, maybe he's possessed by something. And that's basically the entire movie. Like, they gotta find out what's wrong with him and then how to fix him. It's great. It's a great premise of the movie. And it's fucking spoiled within the first 2 minutes of the film. It's ridiculous. That's not to say it's a bad movie. I had a real fun time with this movie. The acting from the little boy, Jackson Scott, he's great. The lady that played his mother is great as well, but he really just steals the show, especially in like scenes where he's just by himself. This is one scene in particular. It's like a hypnotic scene. If you watch the movie, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about, because that scene was just amazing. This little boy is a great actor already. The dialogue between characters were kind of like hit or miss at times, but overall, I was interested throughout the entire movie. The whole movie had this like eerie feeling where it made you feel uncomfortable, and I really appreciated that in horror movies because I want to feel uncomfortable. I want to feel out of my comfort zone watching these movies, but it also kept me interested, which I really enjoyed. Like, without getting into spoilers too much, once they find out what's happening with the boy, they start like revealing like little by little like cases of this has happened before, and they show this one incident that is a real life incident that I've done research on before, and I'm like, wait a minute, I know about this, I can relate to this, and I ended up liking the movie even more because it was about a topic that I previously already knew about, so I was just 10 times more interested in it than I already was. Along with the overall creepy, eerie vibe of the movie, Georgie, I cannot stress how well, I'm gonna call him Georgie for the rest of his fucking career, but Georgie is just great. Like, honestly, he's able to capture like an innocent child, but also menacingly evil at the same time, and he's like a mini James McAvoy from Split. It's amazing. This movie is not a horror movie, just like the way in my eyes how Sinister is not a horror movie. This movie is more of a thriller. It's more about like the build up. Given it does kind of peak about halfway through the movie, like it really reaches a peak, and then it kind of dips in quality, and then towards like the very like last, there's always like a final battle or whatever. That final battle picked it up again, but once it reaches that halfway point of the film, it really peaks and the quality dips immensely. But that's not to say I didn't enjoy this movie. I really enjoyed this movie. Like, it's one of my favorite, like, in this genre that I barely watch. I just wish this film was edited better, because if let me start with saying this film does a great job of letting us, the audience, into the mother's shoes, in order for us to feel paranoid like her. Like, we cannot trust the son at all as much as we want to trust him, because that's the son, and he's just a little boy that we know he's still in there. We just can't trust him no matter what, and I love how it put us in the mother's shoes like that. I just wish it kept that mystery of really what's happening with him, because the first like 2 to 5 minutes like literally just write it out for you what's happening, and we as the audience know, and then we're just watching like half of the fucking movie, just watching the parents try to figure out what happened, even though we already know. We just want to see the next step, which I feel, why did they do that? Why? We didn't need that very first scene. Just kept it a mystery. There's 2 scenes in the beginning that take place tangent to one another. The very first thing that it opens with could have been gone. Could have been gone. The second thing it opens up with, it's perfectly fine. It's a perfect start to the movie. It's just that first scene really just, it's what ultimately drags the movie once it reaches its peak, because we already know we're on the same level, and then nothing really happens. I wish it would have been a lot better as a mystery. I sound like I'm hating on this movie a lot, but I promise I really do like it. It might not be for everybody, because I didn't see this as like typical horror movie, jump scares and everything. It's more like a thriller. It's a mystery, really. Even though we already know the answer, it's more of a thriller, and I feel like people going into it that are expecting just scares and, you know, jump scares everywhere, I feel like they'll be disappointed. Everybody's different. I don't know if I said this before, but this is probably one of my favorite movies within this genre. It's not my favorite. It's not up there as the way Sinister is for me. I'll get around to Sinister whenever I do my review again for it. But Sinister is like up there for me, and this is like a very close second. Because this movie, the whole plot and like the idea behind it is so like, it's a possession film with a nice little twist to it, which I feel just benefits it even more. Overall, I give this movie an 8.7 out of 10. I was thinking about giving it a 9. I was really about to give it a 9, but I was like, the peak fall and then that opening scene just really just hammered it down for me. But I was in it all the way through this movie. Like, sure, the first act was like a little bumpy. Those first few scenes were a little bit bumpy, but you know, shit. Like, once you pass like the first, I guess, 10 minutes, shit just starts going and going and going. I was in it like that. So yeah, 8.7 for me. Have you guys seen The Prodigy? Are you planning to see it? Let me know in the comments below. I'm gonna have end cards popping up somewhere. It just did it. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more. Comment down below if you agree or disagree with my opinion. I will see y'all guys in the next one. Peace.